Hey, BookTube, Chelsea the Reading Outlaw here to do a BooktubeSFF Awards Babbles video. The videos going up today are going to be all about the things that we've nominated and would like to put forward for you to consider for nomination. I just want to say really quickly before I get into what I nominated on my ballot that you should feel more than free to disagree with me and to nominate what you think is deserving of the award of the best science fiction and fantasy on BookTube published in the year of 2016. I also want to just give kind of a general heads up to people who watch my channel outside of just these videos that while the awards are going on, any week that we have an SFF Babbles video going up on Sunday, there will not be a video going up on that Saturday. So there won't be a Sexy Saturdays or a Short Story Saturdays if in that same week I have to do a video for Sunday. It's a scheduling thing. And while I'd love to make it happen, it just doesn't seem to be working out that way. So just a heads up. But moving on. My ballot for the BookTube SFF Awards this year was almost entirely filled out with the exception of middle grade. So to start at the top, you get 2 nominations in each category, and then the top 3 nominations overall is what will make the shortlist. So in the Best Adult Fiction category, I nominated 9 Fox Gambit by Yoon-Ha Lee, which I talked about not too long ago, and I really, really loved, but really didn't understand. However, even though I didn't understand it, I still have to give it credit as being an amazingly crafted science fiction book. And the second one is, of course, The Obelisk by N.K. Jemisin. I mean, come on. It's The Obelisk. It's the next book. I have to find out what's going on with those fucking shards. Like, I had to know. So, no spoilers, but loved it. Didn't quite love it as much as the first one, but I'm really, really excited to see how the series ends with the third book. So that was my second nominee for Best Adult Fiction. For Best Young Adult Fiction, I actually had 3 that I really, really, really wanted to nominate, but the 2 that I picked, the first one is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have some issues from Jay Kristoff. He and I can talk, but this book was a very enjoyable read. I really loved Illuminae last year. I actually really enjoy the physical manipulation of the text in this book. I really like some of the meta stuff that goes on in the way that the book is formatted and the fact that it's kind of this like found compendium of like chat logs and computer. Like I just really like that particular formatting. I really enjoyed the relationship in Gemina more so than I enjoyed the relationship in Illuminae. And so I really think it deserves the spot. The second thing that I nominated was Crooked Kingdoms by Leigh Bardugo. Oh my God, you guys, this book, I had so many feels. And after being like kind of mostly okay with the first one-ish, like the second one just knocked my socks off. I thought it was so good, especially for an ending that followed like kind of an mediocre, slightly more than mediocre setup. But I just really, really loved it. The one I didn't nominate that ended up missing out was Arabella of Mars by David D. Levine. I really, really loved this book, but at the end of the day, I felt like it maybe wasn't the most applicable read to actual young adults. Like if I were to hand it to teens, it would probably be the one that they least enjoyed of those 3. So it just didn't get the top spot. Like I said, the next category, middle grade, is the only one where I didn't have a completely full ballot. I only nominated 1 book, and that's Furthermore by Tahereh Mafi, because any book that is literally about the premise of a world of color versus a world of monotone whiteness is like something that I am here for, like 1,000%. In short fiction, I nominated something that pretty much everyone else that I've seen has also nominated, and that is Every Heart a Doorway by Shayna Maguire. This is a story about what happens to the lost children of fairy tales of yore when they come back. It's like, what happens to the kids of Narnia when they come back here? What happens to the kids of Neverland when they return here as like adults? And so it gets into that like issue. It plays with kind of the realms of fantasy in that way, but it also does a really good job of representing asexuality. There's an asexual narrator in this book, and that's an area of the LGBTQ spectrum that's not really named and openly represented in a lot of media. So this book definitely gets major props for that. The second piece of short fiction I recommended is a story that I think about almost every day and have reread several times, and that's Our Talons Can Crush Galaxies by Brooke Bolender. This story was published in Uncanny Magazine at the very end of last year, and it is about sexual assault and bodily autonomy and the harpies and how you don't fuck with women. You just don't come for us. And I loved it. Can you tell like how excited I am? I really fucking love this story. So I'm really hoping that it wins, but that is a long shot because short fiction is a really hard category everyone's got disparate opinions. It's really hard to come to a conclusion. For graphic works, I nominated two very different pieces of media that I loved very, very dearly. The first one was Descender Volume 3, Singularities, which of course continues to follow the story of Tim 21, a lost companion robot who wakes up after a robot apocalypse and all of humanity wants to kill him or mine him for like profit. And then on the other hand, we had Fairyland Volume 1 by Scotty Young. This is the story of Gertrude, and Gertrude went into Fairyland one day to complete a quest, only it took her 40 years. So now she's a bitter middle-aged woman trapped in the body of a 6-year-old. It's hilarious and violent and full of cursing and like colored and bright Technicolor. And if you know me at all, you know that that is a thing that like represents me in whole. So that's my ballot. That's what I nominated. I'm so excited to see how the shortlist plays out. The shortlist should be coming out hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Nominations end on the 14th. You have 2 more days. You have until the 14th of February to get your ballots in and let us know what you nominated, what you recommended. Let me know down below if you've already filled out your ballot or if you're gonna go fill out your ballot, which you definitely should, what you're gonna nominate. Hit me up all over social media. We can always talk books together. As always, like, comment, subscribe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have happy reading.